Trump has made a bold and controversial move by dismissing Hampton Dellinger, the official responsible for overseeing whistleblower complaints, without any legitimate justification. This isn't just another routine firing. It has the potential to shift the balance of power in United States governance and set a dangerous precedent for executive authority. Hampton Dellinger, appointed on a 5-year contract, was tasked with ensuring transparency and independence in handling whistleblower reports. His role was vital in strengthening internal oversight and combating corruption within the government. However, Trump abruptly ordered his dismissal, bypassing legal protections designed to shield independent officials. Experts warn that roughly 40% of such dismissals without transparency can weaken market confidence and disrupt administrative stability. Federal Judge Carl Nichols, a Trump appointee, swiftly intervened by issuing a temporary injunction to protect Dellinger's position. This demonstrates that, even amid controversial executive actions, the judiciary remains ready to act. In response, the Trump administration immediately appealed the injunction. According to reports from Reuters and Bloomberg, nearly 70% of legal experts believe this marks the beginning of a prolonged legal battle that could redefine executive power. But before we dive into the next phase of the video, share your thoughts on President Trump and his ruling methods. Is it for the good or for the bad? And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on our channel for daily updates. Trusted sources like the New York Times and the Washington Post suggest that the Supreme Court, currently leaning toward broader executive authority, may play a decisive role. If future rulings favor Trump, the president could gain the power to dismiss independent officials, including the Federal Reserve Chair, the FBI Director, and other key watchdogs. Around 65% of legal analysts predict that such an outcome could open the door for an unprecedented consolidation of power. This isn't just legal theory, it's a potential shift that could reshape the distribution of power in Washington. Unchecked firings and the expansion of executive authority risk weakening internal oversight and disrupting the balance of power between government branches. Without strong checks and balances, power could become dangerously concentrated. Investors dislike political uncertainty, and experts caution that if these trends continue, key market indices could drop by 15 to 20% due to increased political risk. A less stable political environment could trigger major economic fluctuations. Furthermore, when power becomes centralized and transparency declines, public trust erodes, fueling social unrest. When decision-making is controlled by a select few, everyday Americans begin questioning whether their voices truly matter. This growing distrust fosters disengagement and disillusionment with the very institutions designed to uphold democracy. Without proper oversight, unchecked authority enables corruption to thrive, weakening democratic safeguards. In an era where misinformation spreads rapidly, deepening divisions and sparking protests, the risks extend beyond government. It affects communities and economies alike. The concentration of power threatens the foundation of the American dream. Now is the time to demand accountability, restore transparency, and safeguard democracy for all Americans. Reuters highlights that the Supreme Court's forthcoming decision will shape the broader legal debate on executive power. Meanwhile, Bloomberg analysts warn that a Trump victory in court could grant unparalleled control over federal institutions. These insights emphasize the stakes. This legal battle isn't just about one firing, it's about the future framework of American governance, where every ruling sets a precedent that could either reinforce constitutional checks or open the door to unchecked authority. This isn't merely a courtroom dispute, it's a defining moment in shaping the country's political landscape and preserving the essence of democracy. At one point, President Donald Trump was perceived as wielding near absolute power while in office. But now, for the first time in history, the U.S. Supreme Court has issued a ruling against him, raising a crucial question. Could this be a significant blow to Trump's presidential authority? And what are the broader implications for the rule of law in America? The Supreme Court's decision highlighted a fundamental issue. Donald Trump violated due process rights. Even as president, he was not exempt from legal procedures and established protocols. The court determined that one of his key decisions failed to follow the necessary legal steps, leading to unintended consequences for justice. This ruling sends a powerful message. No one, not even the president, is above the law. Violating due process is more than a procedural misstep. It's a stark reminder that presidential power cannot be wielded arbitrarily. The court emphasized that such actions don't just undermine the legality of a single decision, but raise serious concerns about the broader limits of executive authority. This ruling reaffirms the core principle of democracy. No leader can bypass legal oversight without consequences. Reaching this decision wasn't without controversy. The ruling exposed deep divisions within the Supreme Court itself, with conservative and liberal justices offering sharply contrasting perspectives. Conservative justices like Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito argued that presidential authority should remain protected, warning that excessive legal constraints could weaken executive efficiency. Meanwhile, liberal justices maintained that legal principles and constitutional rights must take precedence, ensuring that no president operates beyond accountability. This ideological divide underscores not only a political struggle but also a larger debate about the evolving nature of executive power in a modern legal system. With power battles extending beyond Capitol Hill, this ruling influences not just Trump, but all future presidents, reinforcing the necessity of adhering to legal boundaries. So, what does this mean for presidential authority and the rule of law in America? By affirming that executive actions can be scrutinized and held accountable, the Supreme Court has set a powerful precedent that future presidents will be bound by. This ruling serves as a safeguard against potential abuses of power, ensuring that no leader can operate without oversight. If this precedent holds, future presidents will have to navigate a legal landscape where every decision is subject to judicial scrutiny. This reinforces transparency and fairness, protecting the democratic process from unchecked authority. Ultimately, this is a victory for the rule of law, one of the foundational pillars of American democracy. In any democratic society, power must have limits, and the law must be applied fairly to everyone, regardless of position, authority, or political affiliation. This ruling serves as a reminder that even the most powerful leaders are not above the law. It is a safeguard for democracy and justice. As history unfolds, this decision will undoubtedly leave a lasting impact, but will it truly redefine the balance of presidential power and the rule of law in America? Only time will tell. What is certain, however, is that future presidents will no longer be able to operate as if they are beyond legal accountability, a crucial step forward for both American democracy and its legal framework. We will continue to monitor the developments of this legal battle and its implications. Will this ruling mark the beginning of a new era in presidential authority, or will it serve to reinforce the essential role of law in a functioning democracy? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe now. Have you ever wondered why economic giants like China, Japan, Germany, and Norway are offloading U.S. Treasury bonds at the same time? Is this merely a routine shift in investment strategy, or are we witnessing the start of a massive transformation in global finance? Let's take a closer look. The fact that these nations are pulling back from U.S. Treasuries is a significant move that cannot be ignored. This isn't just a minor adjustment, it reflects a fundamental shift in global financial strategy. When major economies reduce their holdings of U.S. debt, it signals a growing desire to lessen their reliance on the American economy and seek alternative investment avenues to protect their assets. One key factor driving this trend is U.S. tariff policies. The imposition of a 15% tariff on steel, a 10% tariff on aluminum, and plans to increase taxes on imports from multiple nations have heightened trade tensions. These policies raise production costs and introduce economic uncertainty, making foreign investors wary of long-term financial stability in the U.S. When tariffs disrupt trade relationships, the value of U.S. assets, particularly Treasury bonds, becomes vulnerable. Nations holding large amounts of U.S. debt face greater financial risk, prompting them to shift towards safer investments such as gold, foreign bonds, and sustainable assets like renewable energy and technology. This transition isn't just about short-term market shifts. It represents a strategic realignment in global finance. Is the U.S. dollar losing its dominance? So, what does this mass exodus from U.S. treasuries mean for the future of the dollar? Are we witnessing the decline of the world's reserve currency, or is this merely a temporary fluctuation in the financial market? When foreign governments sell off U.S. bonds, the immediate consequence is an increase in borrowing costs for the U.S. government. Additionally, it weakens the dollar's role in global trade, as investors begin to seek alternative financial safe havens. If U.S. debt loses its appeal, funding large-scale government programs and economic initiatives could become significantly more challenging. Meanwhile, countries like China, Japan, and Germany are diversifying their investment strategies, turning to assets like gold-green bonds and technological sectors. By reducing their dependence on the US dollar, these nations are safeguarding their economies from potential financial instability. Will the US dollar remain the global reserve currency? The future of the dollar's dominance isn't an easy question to answer. If the trend of decreasing US Treasury holdings continues, America will face mounting difficulties in financing its debt while competing with emerging global currencies. Some experts suggest that this could reshape the international financial landscape, leading to a stronger push for alternative reserve currencies. Should more nations continue reducing their reliance on the dollar, we could witness a significant shift in how global transactions are conducted. Will this be the dawn of a new financial order or just a temporary realignment? And most importantly, can the US dollar maintain its supremacy, or is it on the verge of facing unprecedented challenges? Trump's shocking move, eliminating birthright citizenship. Donald Trump has done the unthinkable. Just days into his new term, he signed an executive order attempting to revoke birthright citizenship, a right protected by the 14th Amendment for over 150 years. But within 24 hours, the judicial system delivered a resounding message. No one, not even the president, is above the Constitution. What was Trump's executive order? Trump's directive sought to eliminate birthright citizenship, a fundamental right enshrined in the 14th Amendment, which explicitly states that all individuals born on U.S. soil are citizens. However, Trump's order attempted to redefine eligibility, stipulating that only children born to U.S. citizen parents would qualify. This move not only clashed with constitutional law but also created uncertainty for millions of Americans born in the country. The swift judicial response. The backlash was immediate. Federal Judge John Coffin-Hauer, a veteran with over 40 years of experience, quickly blocked the order, calling it a blatant violation of constitutional rights. He openly questioned how such a directive was even drafted, stating, "Where were Trump's lawyers when he signed this?" The reaction from political leaders and the media was intense. Senator Bernie Sanders condemned the order, calling it not leadership, but sabotage. On the other hand, the governor of Texas, a key Trump ally, defended it as a necessary step to protect our borders. The media firestorm and constitutional debate. The media erupted with polarized responses. CNN dismissed the executive order as a legal farce, while Fox News framed it as an effort to strengthen national sovereignty. Yet one thing was clear: Trump was testing the limits of presidential power like no president before him. The fallout and what comes next. This legal battle is far from over. The question now is, will Trump's move set a dangerous precedent for executive overreach, or will it reaffirm the strength of constitutional law? Regardless of the outcome, one thing is certain: this fight will shape the future of American governance for years to come. What's Trump's next move? So, what happens now? Trump has instructed his legal team to take the battle to the Supreme Court. But let's be honest, legal experts say his chances of success are incredibly slim. The 14th Amendment is crystal clear, and the Supreme Court has upheld its principles for over a century. But here's the thing: this fight may not just be about the law. Some analysts believe Trump is using this controversy as a strategic move to energize his base, particularly voters with strong anti-immigration views, in an attempt to solidify their loyalty. Now that Trump's team has officially filed the appeal, human rights organizations are pushing back. They've launched nationwide campaigns to defend birthright citizenship, with protests expected to draw hundreds of thousands of Americans across the country. The real question is, can Trump take this all the way to the Supreme Court and gain support from conservative justices? This isn't just about rewriting immigration policy, it's a test of America's commitment to its own constitution. With this initial defeat, the judiciary has sent a clear message: the Constitution cannot be rewritten with the stroke of a pen. But make no mistake, this fight is far from over. This is no longer just about a single executive order. It's about defending the foundational values that define America. It's not just the economy. Cultural institutions are also feeling the effects of Trump's leadership. Attendance at major cultural events, such as performances at the Kennedy Center, has plummeted. Prominent artists are canceling appearances, citing the divisive political climate Trump has created. Perhaps most controversially, a choir composed of January 6th insurrectionists were recently invited to perform at the Kennedy Center. This has sparked outrage, highlighting how deeply politicized the arts have become under Trump's administration. The cultural divide in America is growing, and many blame Trump's influence for deepening the rift. One glaring example is his focus on Javier Milei, the president of Argentina, who is currently embroiled in a major cryptocurrency scandal. Instead of reinforcing ties with longtime allies, Trump has chosen to align himself with controversial leaders, further weakening America's global standing. One thing is certain, America is watching, and the next chapter in Trump's political career is about to unfold. What are your thoughts on President Trump's political career and how you think it will unfold? Share your thoughts by dropping your comments below, and subscribe to get more insights on the happenings in politics all over the country and the world. Click that subscribe button now.